Hello again, the cops. Welcome back. Football has a funny way of creating stories that feel almost too perfect to be real. Just when you think you have seen everything, the game finds a new twist. And right now, one of the most fascinating stories in world football is quietly building around a familiar name that Liverpool fans know very well, Xabi Alonso. Only days after stepping away from his role at Real Madrid, Alonso is already being linked with a sensational return to Anfield. This time not as the elegant midfielder who once controlled games in red, but as the man who could shape Liverpool's future from the touchline. At the same time, there is a delicious irony in the air, with former Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp being spoken about as a possible solution for Real Madrid. It is the kind of football drama that feels scripted, yet it is very real. For Liverpool supporters, this situation brings mixed emotions. There is excitement, hope, and belief, but also uncertainty. Where does this leave Liverpool right now? And how realistic is the idea of Xabi Alonso becoming the next Liverpool manager? According to reports from Marca, Alonso has made one thing very clear. He wants to take an active break from football management for a few months. His plan is to rest, reflect, and only seriously consider new offers starting in July. After a demanding spell at Real Madrid, this pause is something he feels he needs before jumping back into the pressure of elite management. However, Marca also makes it clear that the Premier League will play a huge role in Alonso's next move. English football, with its intensity, global reach, and competitive edge, is expected to have much to say about where he ends up. While several clubs could show interest, Liverpool stand out above the rest, not just because of football reasons, but because of emotion. One journalist, Juan Castro, puts it very plainly. He suggests that if Liverpool make a move for Alonso before July, the situation could change instantly. In his words, a move to Liverpool is not a question of if, but when. He even writes that Alonso will go to Liverpool sooner or later. That is a powerful statement, and one that will catch the attention of every copite. The reason behind this confidence is simple: Alonso's deep connection to the club. Anfield is not just a former workplace for him. It is described as his club del alma, the club of his soul. This emotional bond means that Liverpool are the one club capable of speeding up his carefully planned break. If the right call comes from Anfield, it could change everything. But this is where things become complicated. Alonso has publicly stated that he prefers to wait until summer before taking another job. If Liverpool truly want him, they would need to decide how to handle the rest of the season. Do they continue with Arne Slot despite growing pressure and inconsistent performances? Or do they make a temporary change with an interim manager, something that FSG have historically avoided? Neither option looks ideal. Sticking with Slot risks missing out on momentum and possibly Champions League qualification. Bringing in an interim boss could create instability and goes against the club's usual long-term planning approach. This is why the timing of Alonso's availability is such a big issue. From Liverpool's perspective, Alonso represents more than just a popular former player. He represents a clear football identity, modern tactical thinking, and a deep understanding of the club's culture. He knows what it means to wear the shirt, to feel the pressure of Anfield, and to compete at the highest level. That kind of connection cannot be taught; it already exists. At the same time, Liverpool cannot afford to rush a decision based purely on emotion. The club must balance short-term needs with long-term vision. Waiting for Alonso until summer could be a gamble, but it could also be a masterstroke if everything falls into place. For now, the situation remains open. Alonso is resting, Liverpool are watching, and the football world is waiting. What is certain is that this story is far from over. Whether it happens this summer or further down the line, the link between Xabi Alonso and Liverpool feels inevitable. The only question left is timing. And as always in football, timing can change everything. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss anything. Hello again, the cops. Welcome back. Today we're diving into a transfer story that looks simple on the surface, but once you peel back the layers, you start to see how power really works in modern football. This is not a loud story filled with breaking news alerts or dramatic last-minute bids. This is a quiet story, a smart story, and one that shows exactly why Real Madrid remain one of the most influential clubs in the world, even when they are not officially involved in a transfer. Liverpool are watching a young Spanish defender called Jacobo Ramon. At just 21 years old, he has been making serious waves in Serie A with Como. Week after week, he has looked calm, mature, and far more experienced than his age suggests. He reads the game early, stays composed under pressure, and rarely panics when things get intense. These are exactly the kind of qualities Premier League clubs admire, and Liverpool's interest makes complete sense. From a Liverpool point of view, Ramon looks like a perfect long-term signing. He is young, but already proven. He has adapted to a physical league. He understands tactical discipline. He is not flashy, but he is reliable, and those are often the defenders who last the longest at the top level. Liverpool are not just thinking about today, they are thinking about tomorrow, and Ramon fits that vision well. But here's where the story changes. Even though Jacobo Ramon plays in Italy, his future does not fully belong to Como. And it certainly does not belong to Liverpool either. It still belongs to Real Madrid. This was not an accident. When Madrid allowed Ramon to move to Como, they did it with a clear plan. The transfer fee was modest, but the contract details were powerful. Buyback clauses, sell-on percentages, control over future decisions. Madrid did not let him go. They simply sent him away to grow. This is something Real Madrid have mastered over the years. They don't just sell young players. They place them. They watch them develop in quieter environments, away from massive pressure, and then decide later whether to bring them back, profit from them, or direct their next step. It is control without noise, power without panic. Meanwhile, Ramon has been doing exactly what Madrid hoped. He has grown fast. He has become a trusted part of Como's defense. He has helped deliver clean sheets, handled big moments, and even contributed with important goals. More importantly, he has learned how to defend properly, not just impress. What makes him stand out is how little attention he demands. He does his job, keeps things simple, and lets his football speak. That quiet confidence is why clubs like Liverpool are paying attention now. They see a defender who can fit into a high-pressure system without needing years to adapt. But interest does not mean control. If Liverpool want Jacobo Ramon, they cannot just deal with Como. Any serious move must go through Madrid. And Madrid are under no pressure at all. They can wait. They can watch. They can decide later. That's the key difference in this story. Liverpool must plan within tight windows. Injuries happen. Seasons move fast. Squad balance matters every year. Madrid, on the other hand, can afford patience. If their defense needs fresh legs in a year or two, Ramon is there. If not, they can still profit or influence where he goes. Even Ramon himself has made it clear that he still sees Real Madrid as home. He understands that moving to Como was part of his development, not an escape. That mindset matters. Players who still believe in returning rarely force permanent exits. So while headlines may frame this as a battle between Liverpool and Real Madrid, the reality is very different. This is not a sprint. It's a chess match. And right now, Madrid are holding most of the pieces. Liverpool admire the player. They see the potential. But until Madrid decide to loosen their grip, admiration is all it can be. This is modern football power at its quietest and most effective. No drama. No rush. Just control. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss anything. Hello again, Reds. Welcome back. January is ticking away fast, and for Liverpool, this transfer window is starting to feel like a race against time. With less than 2 weeks left before the window slams shut, Arne Slot and the club's recruitment team are under real pressure to act. The Reds are fighting to secure Champions League football, but right now, nothing feels safe, nothing feels settled, and nothing feels guaranteed. Liverpool have been stuck in 4th place for 5 straight weeks. On paper, that might look fine, but the reality is far more worrying. Just 5 points separate Liverpool from 11th placed Fulham. That tells you everything you need to know about how tight and unforgiving this season has become. One bad run, one injury crisis, or one wrong decision in the transfer market could easily push the Reds out of the top 4 altogether. The frustration was clear for everyone to see at Anfield last weekend. Liverpool's 1-1 draw with Burnley was not just another dropped 2 points. It was the fourth league draw in a row. The performance lacked energy, creativity, and confidence. At full time, the Anfield crowd let their feelings be known with loud boos. That reaction summed up the mood around the club right now: worried, impatient, and demanding change. A big part of Liverpool's problem this season has been the midfield. Last year, that engine room drove the Reds to the title. This season, it looks tired and out of rhythm. Alexis Mac Allister has not been able to hit the same levels, and Ryan Gravenberch's form has dipped badly. Together, they were supposed to be the heart of Slot's system, but right now, they look like shadows of their best selves. Because of that, it was no surprise to see Liverpool linked with midfield reinforcements. One of the strongest links was Wolves midfielder João Gomes. Wolves are struggling badly and look increasingly likely to be relegated, having managed just one league win all season. Gomes, a 24-year-old Brazil international, has been one of the few bright spots in that team, and his performances have attracted attention from several big clubs, including Manchester United. For Liverpool fans, the idea made sense. A strong, energetic midfielder who could add bite and balance to the middle of the park sounded exactly like what the team needs right now. But according to reports, Liverpool have decided to walk away from the deal. Wolves are said to be demanding around £40 million, and the Reds are simply not willing to pay that price. It is another reminder that Liverpool will not panic buy, even when the pressure is rising and results are not going their way. While senior reinforcements look unlikely this January, there is still movement behind the scenes. Liverpool have beaten Inter Milan to the signing of highly rated teenage defender Ifeanyi Ndukwi. The 17-year-old has been turning heads with his performances and is considered one of the most exciting young defenders around. However, fans should not expect to see him at Anfield anytime soon, as he will only make the move to England in the summer. Austria under-18s manager Hermann Stadler could not hide his pride when speaking about the youngster's progress. He praised Ndukwi's performances at the World Cup, highlighting his consistency and defensive quality. In 7 games, the team conceded just 2 goals, a record that speaks volumes about Ndukwi's impact at the back. According to Stadler, those performances played a big role in attracting interest from top clubs like Liverpool and Inter Milan. However, Stadler also admitted to having mixed feelings. While he is happy that Ndukwi has secured a move to one of the biggest clubs in the world, he would have preferred the teenager to stay in Austria a little longer to continue his development. Moving to a giant like Liverpool at such a young age is a huge step, and with that comes enormous pressure. Still, the deal shows that Liverpool remain committed to building for the future, even if the present feels uncertain. So where does that leave the Reds? Right now, Liverpool appear willing to be patient, even as fans grow more frustrated. Walking away from a £40 million deal and focusing on long-term talent instead of quick fixes sends a clear message about the club's strategy. The big question is whether that patience will pay off before the season slips away. One thing is certain: the next few weeks could define Liverpool's season. The race for the top 4 is fierce, the crowd is restless, and every decision is under the microscope. All eyes are now on Arne Slot and the board to see whether they make a late move or stick firmly to their plan. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you won't miss anything.